Welcome to Dan Obagie YouTube. Emmanuel Agbogun dey call on the Edo State Governor, Godwin Obaseki, make e look into wetin dey happen for Obagie community. He say some corrupt military dey protect some people wey dey commit crime for the community. Make I leave you, make you hear from Emmanuel Agbogun.
It beats my imagination that those military officers who ought to be custodians of equity, fairness, justice are now the ones colluding with criminals who are in possession of illegal rifles, illegal guns, illegal weapons to cause mayhem and seize over communal administrative affairs of Obagie Nevosa community. Part of their gang syndicates were the same group of persons who went to Obagie Nepokoro community in Obagie local government area to carry out killings, some of which they lost their lives on that fateful day, and the police is also investigating. Now, I wonder why the military will refuse to arrest a criminal who petitions have been written. The reason for this recent arrest is when we saw that the military were also regrouping to continue in their illegality, despite the fact that the two division headquarters of the Nigerian Army had swung into investigation and discovered that some of the operatives had a hand in what was going on. Some of these operatives were arrested. As we speak, we do not know the position of that investigation. That is why we are calling on the authorities. That is why we are calling on the authorities to immediately do what is needful and what is expected of a sane authority in a sane society like ours. Good morning to you all, my conscious Nigerians and those and patriotic citizens across the globe. I remain no other person than yours, noble right activist, Comrade Agbogun Emmanuel. This very morning, I want to seize the opportunity to call on the Executive Governor of Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki, the Inspector General of Police, the National Security Advisor, the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of Army Staff, and the Commanding Officer 2 Division, and the Commanding Officer 4 Mechanized Brigade, and no other person than the National Security Advisor to Mr. President in the person of Honorable Nuhu Ribadu. I also want to seize this medium to also call on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I have for some time been on domestic investigation over what has transpired in our Benin native communities. To be precise, Obagie Nevosa community in the Obagie local government area of Edo State. And I have come to a conclusion this very morning that some senior members of the Nigerian Army, particularly the commander of Wabasigan and other co-senior officers of the 4 Mechanized Brigade, are colluding with criminals against the Nigerian police force, who is statutorily empowered by law and the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to investigate internal security affairs. As of this morning, today being Sunday, 4 military vans and a Hilux invaded the Igbomo community, where the former and elder statesman of Obagie Nevosa community lives, one Ekenaye Festus Degbe, who was illegally removed from office with purported and purported lies, aided by some persons, particularly Uyi Gebo, Malo, one Emmanuel Agbedo, aka Malo, and a host of others who have criminal track records in Edo State to be kidnappers, armed robbers, small arm profilation aiders, and other illegal firearm possessors in that community. As I speak to you, on the 4th and on the 10th of November last year, before the commencement and during the commencement of Operation Stillwater, 2 persons by name Festus Society, was first shot on the 4th, and upon report to the police and other security agencies in the state, the police swung into action to arrest these culprits who were hired thugs from Ondo State, and some of whom are indigenes of the state, namely Uyi Gebo, Emmanuel Agbedo, aka Malo, and one of Sakmawa, and others, whose name I cannot mention here now. It is so sad that despite the fact that after this young man has been shot, petitions were written to the Nigerian army, who claimed to be carrying out operations that were legitimized to restore sanity to the area. They refused to arrest these young men. Rather, what they have been doing since then is to collude with them to continuously remain in the community to sell landed properties that belong to the good people of Obagie Nevosa community. The reasons why I'm out this morning is to demand for the immediate release of Ekenaye Edegbe, 1, and 2, the arrest of these criminals who are in possession of AK-47. Sometime around the 12th of February, policemen under the instructions of the Inspector General of Police were drafted under Aruti to visit the community to arrest these culprits for investigation. On arrival of the community, the videos are there on social media for the world to see. Emmanuel Agbedo, aka Malo, and Uyi Gebo mobilized their thugs, armed thugs, who came all out with AK-47 to drive away operatives of the Nigerian police force. It beats my imagination. It pains my conscience. It beats my imagination. Are we live?
No.
Sorry for that break. It beats my imagination that those military officers who ought to be custodians of equity, fairness, justice, are not the ones colluding with criminals who are in possession of illegal rifles, illegal guns, illegal weapons to cause mayhem and seize over communal administrative affairs of Obagie Nevosa community. Part of their gang syndicates were the same group of persons who went to Obagie Nepokoro community in Bobaoka local government area to carry out killings, some of which they lost their lives on that fateful day, and the police is also investigating. Now, I wonder why the military will refuse to arrest a criminal who petitions have been written. The reason for this recent arrest is when we saw that the military were also regrouping to continue in their illegality, despite the fact that the 2 division headquarters of the Nigerian Army had swung into investigation and discovered that some of the operatives had a hand in what was going on. Some of these operatives were arrested. As we speak, we do not know the position of that investigation. That is why we are calling on the authorities. That is why we are calling on the authorities to immediately do what is needful and what is expected of a sane authority in a sane society like ours. Inequality will continue to strive where men with moral crisis choose to remain with moral voices choose to remain neutral in a time like this. For once, as an activist, I have seen that the major problem we face under insecurity in Edo State is cultism and this communal rustling in the bid of fighting for who sells land here or there. And going further, despite the fact that persons who orchestrated this unlawful removal of Ekenaye from office has come out in the open to confess their illegalities, the military is still not bothered to ensure that they do what is right. Rather, they are taking sides and colluding, I repeat again, colluding with criminals. As I speak, because I saw the injustice that eluded and I decided to go all out to ensure that sanity is restored as a comrade who is dedicated to the interests of fairness, equity, and justice, I protested to the office of the Inspector General of Police reporting the nefarious activity of one AIG Isaac, who is aiding these criminals to invade the investigation. What did I get as a payback? That some of his loyal boys in the police ganged up to arrest me. After arresting me, they took me to the first headquarters. I was detained, for CID. I was detained illegally for 4 days before the DIG came in and saw that what they were doing was very, very inappropriate and directed that the right thing should be done. Ever since then, this group of criminals have returned back to the military. And it beats my imagination that the military will go all out with 4 military vehicles and other hardware equipments of the Nigerian army to arrest somebody who has not hurted anybody, and rather protect those persons who are in possession of AK-47, parading the community, looting people's houses, destroying people's properties, including the property of Festus Ekenaya Debe and other people that support him in ensuring that justice is brought back to the community. The question to ask: when do our military decide, and how do they decide to aid criminality? When I mean the military, those military personnel who are in 4 mechanized brigade, the way and manner in which they draw conclusion into land issues and take it as if they are the judiciary, even matters before the judiciary, when it is brought to their notice, they still choose to forcefully take to illegality, to disrespect the court, a constituted court at that of the Federal Republic. They still take to the part of illegality to ensure that people that they are ought to hand over to the police for investigation, they collude with them to see how they can continuously perpetrate their illegal activities. We are saying all of this because we strongly believe that nobody has monopoly of nonsense. And that is the core reason why I'm calling on the authorities. I'm calling on the authorities to ensure that these people are not only investigated, but they are brought to book. They are dragging the name of the military to the mud. And as somebody who is a patriotic citizen, I believe the Nigerian military has paid enough sacrifice for the unity of this country. And as such, some miscreants among them should not be allowed to draw the name of the military to the mud. This very moment, I am calling on the executive governor of Edo State, sir, Governor Godwin Obaseki. You are a Benin man, and as such, you should be able to distinguish between what is right and what is wrong. As of today, the CSO to Government House, we have reported the activities and some other activities of those persons who are aiding, because they see that Obagie Nevosa community is a ripe community for developers to buy lands at high prices. So therefore, their interest is to collude with those people who they feel are closer to them, so that the rest members of the community will not gain access to the community. As we speak, over 3 military illegal checkpoints have been situated in that community. Where they got the approval from, nobody knows. How they are going about it, nobody knows. But they are very quick to take side. Emmanuel Aigbedo and Uyi Gebo has been reported to have shot 2 persons. They are still under the protections of the military day in, day out. They even follow the military. The military even follow them to social functions to see how they can continuously protect them, to the detriment of victims who were shot, people who were going about their lawful activities, who were shot with AK-47 rifles in the community. So what I am saying here is this: what is wrong before the eyes of the law. Nobody should be spared. If Festus Ekenaya Debe had instituted any level of crime in the community and he is to be investigated, he should be investigated. But for the military to be colluding and even to the extent of aiding talks to get more grounds to chase lawful police officers who are on lawful duty to see how they can arrest and investigate. I use the word arrest and investigate culprits who are found guilty. I want to at this junction salute the DIG for CID for his astute position he took to ensure that these illegalities that they use the police to do is brought to a halt. Now let these persons come out and be investigated. If their hands are clean, they should come out. They should not be hiding in the boots of retired police officers and also under the guise of senior military officers, because they feel they have monies to play around with, monies that are proceeds of communal lands in Obagie Nevosa community. I am Comrade Aibogu Emmanuel. One thing I don't support is impunity. I will go all out to stand by what I know is legal, what I know is right, and condemn in totality what I know is illegal and unjust in our society. What they are doing in Obagie Nevosa community is also going on in several other pocket communities in Benin City, because of the sales of landed properties that belongs to these communities. They take sides with some group of persons and continuously aid them to carry out all forms of illegality in a bid of selling of communal lands. I want to appeal to constituted authority. This matter should not be swept under the carpet. Major Issa, the commander of OBASEKI, should know that his excesses are not on the path of law, and so therefore he should be called to order. Nobody is above the law. Nobody, I repeat again, is above the law. At a time like this, we should not be promoting what will aid internal insecurity. Rather, we should be seen to be doing what will aid the president in ensuring that Nigeria is a safe state for all. This is my simple way of calling the attention of relevant authorities. They should take action and investigate. They should take actions and investigate. The Inspector General of Police, I want to repeat again, I am surprised to date that men of your IROT were chased like Boy Scouts out of a community. Until now, the police have not gone there to not only recover these illegal firearms that are in their possession, but also restore sanity back to the community. As I speak, a large number of the community people have been displaced, their houses looted by this same leadership of Uyi Gebo and Emmanuel Aigbedo. I am calling on the relevant authorities to immediately look into this matter. This height of illegality and irresponsibility orchestrated by military officers colluding with criminals, particularly Uyi Gebo and Emmanuel Aigbedo, aka Malo, should be brought to halt. They had arrested me and accosted me with the military, detained me for a night, and forced me to start debunking allegations that were levied against them. I did not see that as an offense. But for me, I want justice. All because we have gone to write a letter of reminder to them, telling them that the persons we asked people to arrest is still colluding with your senior officers. They now want to be going out to arrest persons to see how they can settle it through the back door. We have gone beyond that. I put it to them that we have gone beyond that. We are approaching the law court very soon. But before approaching the law court to compound cases, I believe some of these things can be easily addressed by the military operatives and the Inspector General of Police. When illegalities like this begin to strive, criminals will always have their way because they feel they can induce the authorities with monies, and at the end of the day, nothing right will be done. I want to commend everybody who has stood firm to ensure that the right thing is done. And I also want to condemn those who have also aided criminality and are also colluding with criminals to ensure that their illegality strives. And to cut the long story short, the new commander of the 4th Mechanized Brigade, the brigade commander, is not properly aware of all these illegalities that his boys under him are doing. That is the more reason why I'm saying this thing here now. He should be neutral. He should not allow these persons who have soiled their hands in the murky waters to see how they can draw the name of the military to the mud. He should not allow them to malign his leadership opportunities with what their illegalities are. This is where I want to wrap it all. They say that an injustice to one is an injustice to all. If by the end of today we do not get the needed response to these issues we have raised, we will have no other option than to protest tomorrow to the headquarters of relevant authorities. This act of illegality should not be seen. We are all Nigerians. Nobody is too big before the law. Nobody, I repeat again, is too big before the law. These criminals does not have immunity and should not enjoy immunity or protection under the senior officers of the Nigerian police force. This is my simple way of the Nigerian military, This is my simple way, I repeat again, of supporting sane society, because we only have the media as a tool to have our voice heard. Once again, I remain no other person than Comrade Aigbogun Emmanuel. Bye for now.
Now we don't hear from Emmanuel Aigbogun. Let us know what you think for comment section. If you never subscribe to Dan AIG YouTube, try make you subscribe so that make you for the hear all the things wey dey happen for Nigeria. Make I leave you with this video, make you help us share am. Thank you for watching Dan AIG YouTube.